Hello, Merry Meet, blessed be. Welcome to my channel. My name is Arcana. I have been a tarot reader for many, many years, and I thought I'd try something new, doing it online, with encouragement from my kids and friends and as such. I have always enjoyed doing tarot and providing readings face to face. It is a channel called Ask Arcana. If you have questions of anything witchy, or if you would like advice on certain things, I'm happy to do. That's kind of what I do. I'm kind of an advisor, a teacher, and I'm also a reader. So I am shuffling cards. The main deck I start with is the Green Witch Tarot. I was a Rider-Waite fan for many, many years. Still enjoy it. I mean, the classics, right? Anyway, I will be offering private readings, personal readings, and I will put the contact information in the comment in the description. So if you want to do that, I can start working into a schedule for that. And but I'm just getting started, so hopefully I'll get to meet all of you and we can grow together. How's that sound? All right, so I'm just going to start us off with tonight with doing a general reading. This is April 15th in 2025. Today is my birthday, and I always try to do something new and on my birthday of something that would be fun, and I thought this would be a great time to start. So I am just going to shuffle, do a general reading, so you can kind of see what my style is like and how that might go. We'll just try this. I'm out of practice with teaching over onto video. It's been crazy, right? And so I do follow different readers online, and I really enjoy watching them. And it was interesting how I got started with learning about tarot on YouTube. One of my students actually introduced me to it with a pick a card reading, and I was wondering how that was going to work because I'm used to doing everything face to face. So I wasn't sure. Now I have done readings over the phone and I've done them over text, but I had never done it like trying to figure out how to do it of somebody you're not talking to at all. How do you tap into their energies? And so I got to learn a little bit more about like the collective energies and the Akashic, which I already knew, of course, but I'm just so used to talking to people one-on-one that it was kind of weird. Anyway, I kind of watched it, did a pick a card, and we found it very accurate, and I was really surprised about it. So since then, I have been following and studying and learning and finding it a very, very interesting way as we are moving into the Aquarian age, and it's just fascinating and fun, and it's just a really good time. So, typical disclaimer: this is in entertainment purpose. Entertainment purposes only. Never use anything like this for making major life decisions. It's just to help clarify or to give you a kind of an idea of what's going on around you so you make the best choices for yourself. All right, so first card I'm pulling up, this is just a generalization of what's going on right now, and hopefully I'm not putting my personal energies too much into it, more of like what's going on in the world. So eight of Athmes, or Eight of Swords, I will probably use the traditional terms of it, is that feeling of being restricted. Sometimes you're being restricted for your own safety. If your guides are doing it, saying they want you to stay until it is safe to move forward, or it can have that feeling of like you're stuck, that you can't see, you can't move on from wherever you are. And I know, and also the kind of the background of the card, the feel of the card, is kind of what a lot of us might feel right now. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, but what will help us is an optimistic optimistic way of looking at the world. Really getting in tap with our inner joy, serenity, fun, So the next card is the Four of Wands, which is a celebration, and I always associate this card with Beltane, which is May 1st and coming up here in just in a couple of weeks. So look to um, around that time, around the May 1st, of something that might change that will give you joy. Make sure to spend time with people that you care about and have a good time with, and celebrate life and some gratitude, mindfulness, that sort of thing. It actually really does help, believe it or not. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it does. It does help. So our next one is Knight of Chalices. And this is our foundation that we are building from. The Knight of Chalices is a poet and he is a dreamer. He's idealistic. So it could be a sense of that we were living in a world of idealism where we believe things were a certain way. There's a certain amount of innocence and naivety with it, of believing that you believe in love, you believe right will win, that kind of thing. And that is being challenged right now. And handing out. But what we are learning to do is to be the magician. In this case, he's the high priest, but he's the magician card. Creating your own reality, taking responsibility for it, learning to make the changes that benefit you and how it works with the people around you, being the positive change that you wish to see in the world. Six of Pentacles is learning discernment, is knowing not to cut people off. A lot of people who have good hearts tend to be used. And in this particular deck, the woman has two people, one that is coming to her with an actual need, and the other one there has his fingers crossed behind his back because he is going to be just taking advantage of somebody's generosity. So it's learning to have the wisdom and the discernment of knowing to help those that do need to be helped and not being taken advantage of by those that are seeking to do so, to manipulate you. That if you have been taken advantage of in the past and are maybe thinking about that you don't want to continue being kind and generous because of it, this is saying that what you need to know is learn discernment and help the right people, so you're not wasting your energies and you're not getting hurt. Okay, we have upcoming the harvest. We're completing a cycle right now. This is equivalent to the world. We're completing a cycle now in the world, and we're going to be having something new started. So the lessons that have come around in the past are coming back around again. And there's a lot of astrology that's associated with this as well. The United States especially is going through its return. The chart, the aspects that we're having right now are the same of when the United States was first born, which was around this time, in April 19th, in 1775. That was the shot that was heard around the world that started the Revolutionary War, or the War of Independence. The Civil War was started also in the same week that we're in right now as well, and that was in 1861 and ended in 1864. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated also on April 15th, the same week that we're in as well. So if you start seeing that this week has a lot of historical repetition and significance to it, and astrology helps because if you follow somebody who actually can show you the graphs, it will actually show that all the planetary alignments are in the same. It lasts 4 years. Things get better. We do have a good track record, but it's not going to be easy, and we're going to need to fight. So for what we need to be prepared that this is not going to be an easy next few years. But the outcome is we are working on an inner strength. The next card is the battle wagon, which is the chariot. And this is a lot about letting go and trusting in a higher power, whatever that would be for you. Whatever your higher power is, whether it's your higher self, your angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, God, whatever it is for you, gods and goddesses, it's up to you of what works for you, of what you can trust on a higher level, to move you forward. This card's ruled by Cancer, which has a lot to do with setting up needing that sense of home and stability and working on that for yourself. Um, Whatever it is that you need to do of establishing for yourself a sense of security. You're not going to find it externally right now, and that's part of the lesson. It's learning to develop this within yourself so that no matter what happens, you can stay grounded within yourself, a sense of inner calm, whatever you need to do to develop that, to establish that. All right, next card, our external influence is the King of Chalices. Look at this dude. He's like, he's kind of a glutton. He's just look at what he's eating and stuff. And he is a king and he's like, oh, bring me more wine or whatever it is. And I'm just going to leave that there where that is concerned. It could be a water sign like a Cancer, or it could be somebody who just enjoys eating and enjoys overindulgent in this particular deck, not always. In the traditional deck, the King of Chalices is actually a good father, a good husband. He's got a gentleness and a kindness to him. But that doesn't the artwork in this particular deck doesn't really give me that kind of feeling at all where he is concerned. He seems more like he's enjoying indulging his appetites. This is our fears, okay? Nine of Swords, anxiety, nightmares, insomnia, having trouble staying, just that sense of unease, night terrors, things like that. This is what we're concerned about. Of course, there's a logical reason for that. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, so but even though it's logical, is it well founded? In other words, is there? It's not that you have a reason to be, is more because we have an absolute reason to have a sense of anxiety and to be given into stress and uncertainty, absolutely. But how much of that is actual, and how much of it is us projecting it into the future with our fears and kind of manifesting what we're most afraid of? It also rules the subconscious. So even though it's a way of, if you know some of the philosophies of like Carl Jung, of the shadow and the subconscious, that there are things about hidden fears within ourselves that we do not even know that they're there, and they can manifest into our lives as a way to learn. And sometimes we do this together collectively as humanity, which I would imagine is the case right now, because whatever's going on here is also affecting everyone around the world. It's not just going to affect the United States, it's going to affect every country and every person on the planet. So that's I'm hoping that by doing certain readings and such, is saying yes, there's a reason for it, but there is hope, and to provide some inspiration and some practical advice as well, not just spiritual, in a certain amount. So the final in this Celtic Cross reading is number 11, the Standing Stones, which is normally justice. But in this deck, it represents boundaries. It's setting boundaries for yourself, healthy boundaries, of making sure you're protecting yourself, what you can and cannot live with, learning to determine where your real values are, what's important to you, and then making sure to protect your peace. The circle of stones, protecting your peace, protecting your boundary, protecting your family, protecting what it is that means most to you. Generally, what I'll also do after doing a reading is I'll do confirmation, and I hope this isn't going too long. I don't want to make it a very long video or anything. This is a indie deck called the Divine Celestial Tarot. It's one of my newer decks. I have quite a few. I love collecting cards and decks and oracle cards and, you know, oracle cards and such. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. If you're hearing sounds, I have several cats. My roommate's downstairs, and we have a new puppy, so hopefully you're not hearing him. And we have a very windy day, so there's a lot of wind. And looks like one of my kitties is coming over to say hello. This is Banshee. Banshee came to us, moved into a place, and she had been abandoned as a kitten. And I ended up being, I guess, I call it, you know, being part of the cat distribution center, cat distribution system, I'm sorry. And also because a lot of my friends call me the crazy cat lady or the cat whisperer. I love my kitties. Absolutely. So if you see them walk around, say hello. Knock the camera over. Those of you who have cats, you know. They do what they do. All right. Let's see here what we got going on with the second reading here. Strength. Having the strength and the confidence. This is a very girl power deck, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous cards. Having the strength. And the Seven of Swords. And these are a little different for this one. They actually have like little keywords at the bottom. Trickery. Trickery and deception was what this particular card says. Which, I think in the traditional one, he's the thief, the trickster. Another this is King of Wands, not King of Cups. So, fortitude. Standing upon that. Yes, even though it is a king, they're all women. And I love that. And I just felt drawn to do that. The Queen of Cups is the healer. We got a lot of people in this one. So we have magic, we have healing, we have manifestation, we have having fortitude and strength, and being aware that there is trickery and lies, deceptions. The 10 of Coins is your legacy, which is like inheritance. It can be talents be given from your ancestors or things that are handed down, gifts and talents and things like that, and what you're giving to future generations. What is it that you wish to be remembered for? What is it that defines your life? What is important to you? And then 8 of Coins, which is your dedication to doing a certain amount of jobs. I'm really kind of feeling like this is more about finding what your personal path is. Like, it kind of goes along together, but I'm just really feeling like that's what it's trying to say, is that what is it that you're here to do in this mission? What's your mission, life mission here on Earth in this lifetime that isn't defined by society and telling you what you should and shouldn't do? And we have the Hierophant, or the Hierophant, which has a lot to do with spiritual advancement, is the way I've always looked at it. And this one says that it is the mentor. Maybe teaching somebody teaching you. What is it that you're learning? And how does that relate to the Chariot? This is unusual. Usually when I do a second deck, I almost get exactly all the exact same cards. But I guess things have changed in the energy since I did the first deck to the second. If I were to read with you, I would be doing, like if I were to meet with you one-on-one, I give you a deck that you shuffle at the same time I do a deck. And almost inevitably, they will be almost exactly the same reading. This one's a little different, so that's unusual. This one here is with the battle wagon of listening to your higher self. That kind of, I can see where that's the Hierophant. Learning to connect with your higher self and trusting yourself, that part of it, so you can just getting that inner stability that you're looking for. 6 of Cups is Familiarity. We didn't have Seven of Cups in this one. That was another reading I did earlier today. And it is a Six of Cups. Six of Cups. Normally it represents childhood, nostalgia, memories, things like that. Every deck's a little bit different. This one is talking about what is familiar to us. I don't know about you, but I've been really tapping into a lot of my past lives. Kind of having those come up recently. I don't know. The Four of Coins. That's manifestation, stability. That reminds it. This card, the traditional one, is a miser with a Four of Coins. Four represents stability, though. It's a square, and we had the Four of Wands earlier. But it also represents manifestation. Any of the coins or the pentacles represents manifestation here onto the physical plane. So, yeah, this is what we're wanting. We're wanting to have something stable that we can hold on to. It also is, the card also talks a lot about making sure to protect your resources as well. But if you remember, we did talk about the Six, where you want to make sure that you're not completely cutting off help to others, but making sure that you're helping those that will benefit from it the most, not somebody who's just going to take advantage of it. It's really interesting how that's going. The energy to these cards is just phenomenal to me. The Star is renewal in this particular deck, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's renewal. But the Star is about being recognized. It can be the star of hope that follows after a time of uncertainty. And it also represents being the star, shining. I would also put it together with the Hierophant. Stars lead people to them. You can see my starry background. And my tradition that I teach is called Starlight, with the idea that each of us are stars. And we may not be aware. I mean, we can be far away from each other, radiating our own light and having no idea that somebody from far away is watching us. And by just shining our light, they can see the constellations, and it gives them a sense of direction, just like how we navigators used to use the stars to travel the seas, for example, depending on where you are learning for direction. And you may be only one star, but you may not be aware of that you're part of a constellation that from a distance is giving directions to other people. And all you're doing that by just being yourself. And the sense of renewal, we're going into spring. The Star is also the card, I believe, of Aquarius as well. The bottom of the deck is the World. Yeah, we're completing a cycle before we start a new one. And it doesn't have to be, I mean, new things. It's very uncomfortable to start something new. There's a lot of uncertainty. There is a shift, but if you notice, these are very positive, hopeful type cards here, even though it's also addressing your anxiety and such. There's no jarring, like the Tower of Destruction and things like that, which is really interesting that I'm not getting that. I was before I decided to do a new channel, but it's interesting, isn't it? And I'm going to add I like to add some oracle cards to my readings. And I have this one that's called, I believe, Earth Magic is the name of it. I don't know where the box is at the moment. I have a couple of stray cards that find their ways in from doing readings. But these are very shamanic, nature-based. I'm just going to do a few of these to see kind of what the advice is. What can we do now to help ourselves with the way the world is and what is going on in our lives? Just to kind of help us through. And I'm hoping to be able to post. I'll do the best I can. It's hard not to make any promises, but I will try to do like a daily reading, and hopefully learning to do shorter videos so that they're not too long. I am watching the time. I don't want it to be too long, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying this, and I look forward to reading comments of what you might like to share or what you would like me to do a reading on or anything like that, any questions that you have. First one is whale. It says it's a breach jumping out of the water, when they do that. And that's the time of year. This is the time of the year the whales are migrating. And whales are the record keepers in the animal world. They actually are keeping records of what the earth is, and this gemstone that works as a record keeper, not just the Lemurian record keeping crystals, but also malachite. Malachite communicate with each other around the world. Childhood innocence. That is a Six of Cup cards. Remember to play. My shamanic teacher always would tell me that. He said the tap back into your spiritual is remember to play. Play like a child. Get in touch with your childhood, that innocence. Spend time with children. They are our future. Like the song we used to song, like, sorry, I'm old. Okay. Gaia is nurturing, the mother goddess, the earth goddess. This is our planet. It's the only one we have. We have this life, and even though we may reincarnate and everything, it's really important. I think that it's important to pay attention to the life we have here, the life we have now, and the planet we live on now. I don't think it's helpful or beneficial or the purpose of our lives to keep looking towards the next life, of it, to look too much to the past or what our past lives were, or to worry about what happens after we die, and not focusing on here, or the idea that, I don't mean to say this to offend anyone, but in the past 2,000 years, a lot of people believed that Jesus was going to come again, and that they were the end days, and that they kept waiting and they didn't do anything, and they thought that they could just do whatever, and then they realized that they needed to learn to work together. And there are times in history that are way worse than they are now. So we need to evolve as humanity, learning to work together and to take care of one another, which, if you do study Jesus' teachings, that is what he was saying. Love one another, help your neighbor. And that's it. Love, help, charity. Charity was a concept that was started in the Piscean age with the advent of Christianity that didn't exist prior to that. The concept of just giving something to somebody without expecting anything back in return. That is the actual definition of what it means to be Christian. And that's it. The rest of it is debatable theology based upon whatever denomination or religion that you follow. But the academic belief of what it means that defines a Christian is the concept of charity. That makes it unique from other religions in the world that did not exist prior to that time. Since then, that is what the lesson is. And also, we're coming out of the Piscean age. And the Pisces is a sign of, it's a water sign. It's a sign of mysticism, empathy, caring. So it's always been interesting to me that the way people interpret things. Summer solstice, radiance. So between now and summer, there's something coming up. Summer solstice is June 21st. So between Beltane and, we're looking at timing, is Beltane May 1st to June 21st. And a new moon. Start a new promise on the new moon. It's coming up soon. I think it's actually really close around Beltane, actually, too. I'd have to look at my calendar and see for certain. There's a lot that we cannot see. The iceberg, you're only seeing a small portion of it. We're not seeing everything. There's a lot that's being hidden from our view. So it's one of those of being patient. Try not to draw to conclusions or assume things too much. I will explain more as we go to getting to know me. I do have my certain opinions, beliefs, backgrounds and things. So that I apologize in advance if it offends you, but it's kind of those, I'm sorry, not sorry things. I don't mean to offend anyone at all, but at the same time, I really believe in being grounded in reality and having logic, which I know is funny with me doing tarot readings, but I approach anything metaphysical, occultic from a scientific point of view, and proved it scientifically. So once something is proven on that kind of level, then I believe it can be trusted. And after as 30 something years that I've been reading, it has been sustainable. It has been verifiable. It's been verified and validated in many ways, to where that is why I have confidence in what is going on and why it happens. And I might explain that at some point. How and why tarot works, where does it come from, and also maybe teach a class on how to read tarot for yourself. Let me know if you're interested in those things. Again, it was very nice meeting you. Thank you for listening and making it thus far. And I hope to see you again soon. All right, merry part till we merry meet again, and blessings to all of you.